Hey guys, welcome back, Dinner Dudes. Chapter number 3. So, Zach, what you got there?
Look at this. Let's see. I was just looking today, trying to figure out something, for today's episode, right? I was looking at the Deadpool cookbook because we haven't done anything from the cookbooks in a while.
It has been a while since we've done cookbooks.
And, Deadpool says being a hero feels great. And, that hero, man, he serves our country during World War II. Just a scrawny little dude named Steve Rogers. Just, and then just randomly one day gets steroids in his body.
Super Soldier Serum?
Steroids.
Sure. Super Soldier?
Yeah.
Or steroids.
And then it becomes a big man named Captain freaking America.
Captain America.
So,
Captain America is... I know we're in Spider-Man shirts, but I don't have a Captain America shirt.
I do, but it's dirty.
He actually has 2 of them.
Yeah, and this was like last minute.
Got my Marvel shoes on.
Yeah.
But Captain America is my favorite Avenger. I love Captain America. I think it's his leadership and skills. If you think about Captain America, so Captain America, all he wants to do is fight for his country, right? He wants to stand up for the little guy. He wants to be the one out there in the war. Everybody kept telling you can't do, you're too little, blah, 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 right? So he did what he could. He got in. He joined the army anyway. He lied to get in there. He still did what he had to do to fight for his country. He goes and he fights, and we know, fighting Red Skull, fighting, Hydra, right?
Yeah.
Then he actually risked his own life with the Tesseract to fight for the war, to, destroy it.
Yeah. So
he dies when the war's still going on.
Yeah.
He wakes up however many years later, finds out that the war's over.
World War II was in 1917.
No,
right? No, wait.
That's 40s.
No, 1917 is World War One.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he died.
1940s.
Then to come back to find out that Hydra's still around. So the person that he risked his life for, and I think we're still fighting for that. He literally went to war, died, risked his life during war, come back to him is almost literally like the next day, right? To come back and still be in war, to where other people have these years in between. His whole life was filled with this. And instead of wondering, man, what's going on? It's a different time. Yes, he was lost in the times. We all know that. He still continued to do what was right. He still fought for what was right. And all the way to the end, he remained a hero, remained a leader. So I'm all about leadership. And that is, to me, Captain America is the definition of a true leader when it comes to that. If you were looking, superheroes and stuff.
Besides Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel character, Captain America has always been my top 2 favorite.
He's amazing.
One. Yeah.
So this one, it's called the All-American Burger. So this is from the Deadpool book. So we're going to go ahead and get at it. So with that said,
let's get to cooking.
Let's get to cooking. Good try. So we'll go ahead and get with these ingredients for our All-American Captain America burger. So we're going to start off. I've already got it in the bowl. I've got 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of ground pork. Yes, we're mixing both of these in here. Okay. Got about half an onion or so. Just cut up into a little, sliced up. I have 2 apples. Got them cored and sliced. Supposed to be kind of thin, probably a little bit thicker than they should be. Okay. So then we're gonna have some salt and pepper, garlic powder, however you want to season the hamburger meat. It just says salt and pepper, but that's like white people seasoning. Yeah, we don't just do that. So we'll throw some garlic powder, some other seasoning in there. I've got 2 different things of 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I got it separated because one's going to be for one thing, one's going to be for another, okay? Called for a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, but I like cinnamon on the apples because if you guys know this before, I don't like baked apples. Zach went to make this one, so I'm doing this for dinner dudes. So we're gonna see how it comes out. Might be a little bit different because they're sliced a little bit thinner, so maybe they won't be as big a deal. But I got a tablespoon of ground cinnamon instead of just a half a tablespoon. I got 2 tablespoons of some vegetable oil. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of salted butter and a 1/4 of a cup of lightly packed light brown sugar. Then you want some white American or white cheddar cheese and some crumbled blue cheese. We're gonna take those. We're gonna top off the burgers with it. Obviously, then for your burgers, you gotta have burgers. We got the jumbo bun because you're gonna need a little bit more space on these. So let's go ahead and get started.
Alrighty. So Dad is seasoning up the meat right now and cooking it. So what I'm going to do, I'm making the apple filling. So what you're first gonna do, you're just gonna get your stove to about a medium heat. And then you're going to basically melt your butter onto the pan real quick. Alrighty.
So while he's doing that, so on the beef pork mixture, you're just going to season it how you want to. The only difference is we are going to throw in 1 of those tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar.
Alright.
The apple cider vinegar into the meat, and the rest of it is just seasoning how you want to. Salt, pepper. I got a little garlic powder, stuff like that. Go ahead, Zach.
Alright, so our butter is now melted up. Now we're going to put our oil in here. Just like that. Alright, now what the directions tell us, you're going to put your onions in here first. So I'm going to grab my onions right over here. I'm probably just going to pour them in instead of grab them one by one. Just going to do that. Boom. I'm taking my little tongs right here, just spreading them out and making sure each individual onion is getting cooked and browned up right here. See like how these are right here? Make sure those don't get clumped up together. Try to make sure everything's, you know, apart. Just like this one. I'm trying to get this one apart, but it is not coming apart. There we go. But they can lay on top of each other, like how I don't have a lot of room, so some of them are laying on top. But just trying to make sure they are not inside of each other, how those were earlier. Alright. And then for these, we're just going to let them cook for about 5 minutes. They just need to be softened, and that's it. And then once those are done, we're going to put them back on our plate, which I have no idea where that went to.
He's sprinkle me a little bit more garlic powder in here.
Garlic powder?
Right here.
No, that's onion powder.
Oh, that garlic powder. All right. You'll have a little more garlic. You can never have too much garlic. Unless you're a vampire, then I guess you can have too much. That's good. That's fun. So while he's doing that, like I said, I'm just got the meat patties up, and I'm about to just make up the meat patties. Zach's just gonna let those onions cook until they soften up, but they're not mushy or nothing. And we'll be right back with all that.
I forgot to tell y'all, you're supposed to preheat your oven to 375, so we're going to put it to 375. Alright, and basically you're just gonna let that preheat, and then we're gonna use that for our hamburger buns to let them, excuse me, I hiccuped, to let them get toasted up a little bit.
Unless you have a toaster, want to put them in there, that works out too.
Yeah, unless you have a toaster, use your toaster, but we don't have a toaster. Why? I don't know why we don't have a toaster.
We don't really ever use one.
That's true.
Use the air fryer.
Could. For
a lot more.
Yep.
The air fryer is one of our best things we ever bought, I think.
Best investment. Alright, we're gonna let these cook up now.
What you got?
I got my onions cooked up. Okay. Right here. And then
what's your next step?
We are going to throw our apples in here with the onions. Yes, with the onions. Because that's what it tells us to do. Plus two, it sounds like a great idea. It seems like Dad attempted to make a star.
No, I was just trying to pour them out as best I could on these.
Oh, it looks like you're trying to make a star.
This is supposed to be some type of like apple pie filling. I don't know. It might be different because it has the onions in there. So that's why I'm giving these a chance because of that. Just dump them in there.
It's Captain America.
That's about two apples right there. And then you want to put your other stuff in there. You got your cinnamon and your brown sugar. Just clump. All right. So he's gonna break that up on here. Now what I got going on right here, so I have about another apple. Okay. And I'm going to be taking the other. Camera started to fall on me. I can't see. There you go. We'll take the other teaspoon of the apple cider vinegar. And tighten up this camera here a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle on a little cinnamon. And then I'm just going to kind of mix these up. I don't want that cinnamon too much on there, but I do want to rub it into some of these. Oop, I lost one. Apple overboard. R.I.P. R.I.P. All right. We're going to take that and we're just going to sit that to the side. That's all you got to do with that. As for my burgers, I got them made up in patties, kind of decently sized, a little flatter, so they will, when they shrink, at least they'll be up there. And I got just your basics: onion powder, garlic powder, minced onions, garlic salt, and then the apple cider vinegar. Do not forget that in your mixture, you need the 1 tablespoon of your apple cider vinegar. So Zach is going to be cooking up the onions and the apples there. He's got that going on, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so what I did on our buns is I got them laid out here. Got the oven preheated at 375. And I kind of pushed them down to make them to like a little bowl. That way the apple pie filling that we're making will be able to sit right in that right there. Then I'm just taking some little butter. No, I didn't add this to the ingredients. I didn't forget it. Just butter. And we're gonna base a little bit on there on each of these. Nothing fancy. Just a little butter to make them nice. Okay. Then we're going to stick those in the oven for about 5 minutes or so. And while we do that, and our apples, how are our apples looking here?
Looks like they
get pretty soft.
Looks like they're about to be done. Let's give them about like 2 more minutes.
Okay. So the apples, once they sit on there, and then we're just going to take those, and we're just going to sit them to the side. So, Zach, while we're waiting for that, what we got to do?
Looks like it's time for Dinner Dudes Chapter 3, Dad Vice.
Dad Vice.
With a new book.
Welcome back to Chapter 3, Dad Vice. I know Chapter 2 seemed like a while. It wasn't that the book was bigger. We just had a lot of different things going on. We had Comic-Con. We had a bunch of different stuff, some special guests. So it's time for Dad Vice Chapter 3 edition, which means new book. But this time, I think you guys kind of see the theme we're going with today. This one is Be More Captain America. I've actually had my eye on this book for a while. I'm not even going to lie. When I started looking at the different books and I seen this one, and I've known for months this was going to be the next book we got. But I was just waiting for us to finish up the Darth Vader book. So, with that said, let's get started.
Cool thing about it, it's got both Captain Americas on there too.
It does have Captain America, yes.
It's got Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers.
Awesome. All right, this one is Take the Shield. That's how we're starting off here. All right, Captain America is a symbol of heroism across the world. He is a fighter who doesn't know when to quit. But he is also a leader who will always try to see the best in everyone. Cap may seem on another level, but there is no reason you can't be like him. You don't have to dress up in a Star-Spangled costume to stand up for what you believe. Under the red, white, and blue is just a man trying to help others be the best he can be. you can follow his example and be a hero too. So I know we always hear things, not all heroes wear a cape. Obviously, Captain America doesn't wear a cape. But it's right. You don't have to have a super soldier serum to be a hero. Sam doesn't have that serum, but he has that leadership. And as I say all the time, anybody can be a boss, but it takes someone special to be a leader. You have to want to teach people, lead people, be a follower sometimes for other people to be leaders. Because a real hero is someone who will go that extra mile for their crew, for their friends, for their family. They're the ones who's going to make those tough decisions when nobody else wants to. Because sometimes it takes more than just, doing your job. Sometimes it takes that person to be like, hey, this is what has to be done. Sometimes we might not like those decisions we have to make. Sometimes the people that follow us don't like those decisions we have to make. But our job as leaders is to show them that, hey, this may not be the best, but it's the best, the overall outcome. Somebody told me before, I'm never going to be mad at you for making a bad decision. If you made a decision that you honestly, to your best ability, was the best decision you can make at that time for that moment, for that situation, I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm going to be mad at you for making no decision. For just letting happen what happens. I say all the time that I say, we can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to them. Be a leader. Be a hero. Welcome to Chapter 3 Dad Advice. Alright, so I got burgers cooked up. He's nice and melted on. Buns, butter. They went in the oven for a few minutes. We took this off and let it cool down. I just pulled it off to the side a little bit more because I might have to let it cool down a little more to take off the heat. So we just want to pull helping. We got a little onion there, a couple apples. Okay. I'm gonna take one of our burger patties, stick that right on top. Then we want one of our thinly sliced apples, one or two, however you want there. I'm gonna put one because you guys know, like I said, I'm not a big fan of baked apples. And then we're going to put some blue cheese on top of that. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? You just put your burger on top. So we're going to get all these set up and get ready for a taste test. Alright, so these are all done. We got some fries cooking in the air fryer. Nothing special on that one. That. Is it? Okay. I'm going to try these again. I'm not a fan of baked apples. I like the flavor, but I don't like baked apples. But I'm going to. It's definitely different. Okay. First off, it's a good burger. The apples are really good. Mixes really good with the blue cheese. And that little bit of crispiness from the apple on top.
So would you take the baked apples off or keep them on?
I like it. It doesn't have the weird texture that normal baked apples have, like for an apple pie, which are chunks. I think because these are sliced thin. Because normal baked apples that have, they're wedges, I don't like that. Baked apples taste weird to me. They're crunchy but soft, but chewy and hard and gritty and slimy, but they taste delicious. But these aren't bad because they are sliced thin. Our fries are done. Eva, you're so loud. But I like this. It tastes really good.
I would just put more blue cheese on mine.
We probably need a little bit more blue cheese. But I like it. And the apple on top gives that nice little crispiness that you would normally get like some lettuce or something. But it gives a crispiness with the flavor, like a little juicy sweetness. So it's cool. I like it. Dinner dude approved?
Mm-hmm.
For me, not liking apples, I'll say dinner dude approved.
Baked apples.
Yeah. So, again, welcome to chapter 3. What are you doing?
Put more cheese on it.
Oh my goodness. Don't eat all the blue cheese. Look at this boy. Okay. Okay. I gotta take stuff away from him. He's over here eating all my blue cheese.
It's good.
Welcome to chapter 3. He's still over here eating.
I'm hungry.
So we are so excited for you guys to be on this journey with us. Remember, May 6th, Huntsville, Alabama, Von Braun Center. The Dinner Dudes will be official guests. Come see us. We will also be again in Huntsville in April, the 21st to 23rd, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on the exact dates, but the Huntsville Pop Culture and Comic Convention. We'll be there too, not as guests, just hanging out with everybody, with our friends, and doing cosplay.
Mick Foley too.
Mick Foley's gonna be there. Mick Foley's a cool guest, but you know who's a cooler guest? The Dinner Dudes. Come see us. We're excited to see everybody. We're excited about chapter 3. Let us know in the comments what you guys want to see, and if there's something you want to try, we're cool with it. If you're interested in doing if you live close in the area, let's meet up. Let's go do something fun. Let's have a collab. Until then, next time, guys, I'm Chris. He's Zach. And we're the Dinner Dudes.